Yes. I'm just going to ask and answer one quick, simple question.
Okay, well, we know appearances may be deceptive. What is your question?
Why should I not curse someone else, either online or in person?
Because your mother told you not to. Great, very, very interesting question. What's your answer to the question?
My answer is I should not curse someone else because they bear the image and likeness of God.
Wow. Whew, fascinating. And I must say, unexpected. So tell me a little bit about what you mean by this question. Is this about using curse words on Twitter for?
I think so. I guess I don't have to use the word curse, and I don't have to use a curse word. Roughly, I think I curse someone when I speak ill of them, usually with some degree of malice.
Interesting. Can you say some more?
I guess in most cases of cursing, I think we know it when we see it or hear it or read it.
Okay, so we can get an enumerative definition, perhaps. That
Yes,
sounds
yes.
about right.
However, I think it's an open question what the boundary is between cursing and other forms of speech. My focus in my question is not so much on the definition of cursing others, but the justification for not cursing others. Why not do it? And my answer to the original question of why should I not curse someone else was not meant to close off other answers, but to suggest a specific answer that helps.
And your answer, I recall now, was pretty specific. I should not curse someone else because they bear the image and likeness of God.
Yes.
Heavy. So, can you say more about that?
Yes. Um, Let me just say the letter of James is thought to be written by a sibling or at least a close relative of Jesus. And James is talking about the human tongue and says in his third chapter, ninth verse, with the tongue we bless our Lord and Father, and with it we curse people who are made in the likeness of God. From the same mouth come blessing and cursing. My brothers, these things ought not to be so.
So here's the connection, the biblical connection.
Yes, exactly. James is pointing to the inconsistency of a person blessing God and then cursing God's likeness, of blessing God and then cursing those bearing the likeness of God.
So a kind of practical contradiction in the Kantian sense. Um, why should people not all? Why? What? First of all, what is the image and likeness of God? That's important. But also, why should people who do not already accept what we find James saying in the Bible
Yeah.
entertain the answer to your original question?
Yeah, those are great questions. I actually wrote my book touching on both of them, although it was phrased in a philosophical rather than religious language.
Okay.
Basically, I think that the moral status of a human person, like our dignity, our rights, the moral presumption for treating us in certain ways, I think that moral status is based on the capacities or powers or dispositions that we each possess in some form or other throughout our lives, like the capacity to love, to think, to laugh, and to do a thousand other things. I think those capacities are what constitute the image and likeness of God. I'm not sure exactly what capacities are on the relevant list, but Christian and Jewish thinkers have long argued over which capacities belong on that list. My own view includes the implication that if a non-human animal or an alien or an artificial intelligence system were to somehow possess the relevant capacities, then it also would bear the image and likeness of God.
I love the breadth there of the possible moral universe that's involved. So don't curse Rocky from Project Hail Mary.
Maybe don't curse Rocky and don't curse Grace either.
And maybe don't curse the latest version of Gemini or Claude or Grok or Chat GPT.
Well, that's a bit of a harder case than Rocky, but it's probably not a good idea to be in the habit of cursing those either.
All right. So suppose someone doesn't want to ground their accepting this thesis on the Bible. What might you offer them?
Yeah, well, this might take us further afield, but let me actually look to one other biblical text to answer it. Paul said something to the Greek philosophers in Athens, which is summarized by Luke in his book Acts of the Apostles. In chapter 17 of that book, Paul gives a clue as to why people who do not already come from an Abrahamic religion might still be able to take seriously the idea that human beings bear the image and likeness of God. Interestingly, Paul does not come right out and quote from his own book of Genesis to these philosophers. Instead, Paul quotes from their own Greek poets.
Thank you
Excellent.
so much for leading today's round.